Nicotine, for the most part, most people that try it, their neurological symptoms: tinnitus, ringing in their ears, deafness, vision, headaches, brain fog, loss of taste and smell. Cannot tell you, hundreds of thousands of people around the world have had all of those symptoms remit after just a few days of nicotine patches or agents. I will tell you, my wife had all of her taste and smell recovered in 3 days after having none of it for 2 years using nicotine for 3 days. Nicotine has not improved her hair growth that she lost since having COVID. It hasn't done it. It didn't do it for my wife, but it did bring back all of her taste and smell, got rid of her dizziness, this POTS syndrome where she used to stand up and then she would be real dizzy for like 6 months. All of it, nicotine took care of. At the same time she was taking nicotine, we had to make sure she was taking bentonite clay, vitamin C, and EDTA to break down the venom that's now circulating in her body while she was chewing the nicotine. How often should you use nicotine? I would just recommend smallest dose of nicotine to start with. When you put nicotine into the body's going to release poisons and venoms. And if they're in your body, you're going to release them, then the body get rid of them. The body doesn't like poisons floating around in your blood, in your lymph, or in your intestines. You're going to feel queasy, nauseous, some of you, when you start it. So start on a very small dose. If you start with a 2 milligram tablet of gum and you don't see any improvements in 3 days, or if you see nausea occur in the first 20 minutes, spit it out and then cut it in half the next day and try a 1 milligram dose or even a quarter of a tablet. Or try patches and cut them into little pieces like I do. I personally use nicotine and will. At least every day through March, I will wear them. Why? Joe Biden said in November, 100 million Americans are going to get COVID before March. And I was like, not this family. So I just started wearing little small 2 to 3 milligram sizes of patches on my skin, give them to my kids. My wife chews the nicotine gum every day to prevent venoms from being able to get into our body and target our cells.
Quick
That's
question,
the
Dr.
purpose.
Addis, because you mentioned the chopping it. I had a friend say I'm not willing to chop it. Why I'm worried about chopping it because it says on here don't chop it because it might like release or be whatever. And I just said to him, well, one way to do it is it's got a sticker on it. Just remove sticker from half of it or a quarter of it, and then have that part exposed. Then swap it for the other part. If you're concerned about cutting it, but have you heard of that? Because that's the only challenge with the cutting of it. If there's any kind of toxins there in the plastic or whatever. I don't know if you know anything.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more organic version. I will tell you right now, Dr. Henry Ely is doing a great job. I love his recommendation. He actually is buying organic tobacco leaf and then steeping it, like boiling it, to get the nicotine and the synergistic properties of the tobacco plant in the water. And then they're doing foot soak baths with them, but not every day, maybe every 3 days, maybe every 4 days. And they are seeing amazing results in patients with like tachycardia. Within 10 minutes of doing the foot soak, it all disappears. This is the venom on the heart that's now being released by the nicotine being absorbed into the body. So
Oh,
there's
that's amazing.
ways to do
That is
this.
amazing.
And just so y'all know,
Tachycardia. Oh man, that's amazing. I know some people that have had those issues, and we were thinking like back years ago, like parasites and other things like that. But now you're seeing major relief in people with tachycardia with foot soaks with nicotine.
it was reported actually by some of the students that we're working with that their dad or husband, one of the two, was actually having to go to the hospital every couple of weeks or every few days for an injection for tachycardia extreme. And this lady decided to do a foot soak with the nicotine. She actually boiled the nicotine gum to get the nicotine out and then put her dad's feet in it in a tachycardia event. And within 10 minutes, it all stopped, subsided, didn't return. That's how cool that is. So, yes. So then that's what got Dr. Henry Ely to buy the organic tobacco leaf. And he's already been using it for himself, doing a foot soak. I did something different. I went online and purchased strict nicotine in a bottle. It's $500 for a liter. I bought it. It just arrived here last week. I'm going to be doing my own foot soaking experiments with nicotine, and I may do those once a week just to get the principle and the components into my body. I just want you